888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. If Donald Trump doesn't win this election, the Durham report is a dead letter. It's not going to happen. Biden brings his new DOJ people. They're going to cut off that investigation right away. It's done. And Hunter Biden, forget about that. None of this stuff is going to happen if Joe Biden takes over the White House. 888-971-SAGE, 888-971-7243. Joy Reid, an MSNBC Hee Haw host, referred to Justice Clarence Thomas as Uncle Clarence on set with Rachel Maddow and another host, and neither one of the other hosts said a word. Back with Joseph, Boston, Massachusetts. Joseph, you had another point you said?
Yes, Larry, I just wanted to finish up on this election thing, and then I had another point. I wanted to say on a Philadelphia radio station I heard today, a postal worker called in, and he was called back to the post office. He found thousands of ballots, and I don't know where they were. They mysteriously appeared, so that tells you something.
And Joseph, before you go on, Joseph, Philadelphia, and I know that I have a beautiful affiliate in Philadelphia, and I love going there. It is one of the most corrupt cities I have ever seen. I remember a few years ago, Joseph, every single member of city council had been wiretapped taking bribes. And the AG of Pennsylvania has some sort of relationship, some sort of Democrat. All the charges dropped. Every single member of city council on tape, Joseph, taking bribes.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
And that's a disgrace. Now, my thing on the coronavirus, you know who I'm talking about. These two doctors were cut off YouTube when they owned a health care system, and they said first, yes, maybe masks just to do it for a while because of the the fear or panic, but then take them off because I can't wear the mask, Larry. Backs up my CO2 into my system, and some people can and can't. Our governor is so corrupt up here. We have 60,000 restaurants which are out of business. We've got to unlock this country and do what Trump said, and they won't do it. I wish you could get some help, but we could get a law passed to make them do it in a case like this, because we don't need these masks. People, the masks are not going to stop the virus. I had the virus. I got better. Some people live, some don't. That's life. You have other comorbidities, and there's corruption there, because what they're doing is they're tacking on. Let's say Larry Elder had the disease and he died from something else. They would get $30,000 if they say he died from COVID. And that.
Well, Joseph, thank you very much for the call. I got it. I really do appreciate it. 888-971-SAGE. I don't think that it is fair to say that Donald Trump should have done this, that, or the other regarding the coronavirus, and it would have made things all that much better. I really don't think it's fair. As I just now mentioned, you got Dr. Fauci, as late as of March 8th on 60 Minutes saying there's no reason to walk around wearing a mask. You have him saying as late as January 21st that it's really not something to worry about. We need to keep an eye on it, but it's not something really to worry about. But Donald Trump is a mass murderer. Please. Sarah is in San Antonio, Texas. Sarah, you're on the Larry Elder Show.
Hi, Larry.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. I'm sorry my voice is not great tonight, but it's not from yelling at the TV last night. It's from allergies. So I wanted to say a few things. We know the left is capable of anything. We all saw the stark difference between the Trump and Pence rallies and the Biden-Harris rallies. And Harris was in Texas days ago, and it was really embarrassing to actually watch. This makes me question the results of the battle in the battleground states that Biden got. So I have two questions for you. With roughly 80% of the votes counted for in Arizona, is that state still in play? And number two, a month from now, where do you think everything will end up?
Okay, regarding Arizona, so far the networks have called Arizona for Joe Biden. I don't know that that's going to change anywhere. A month from now, where do I think this thing is going to end up? I have zero idea. I think that ultimately we're going to find all sorts of shenanigans, all sorts of irregularities. I interviewed a man named John Fund who wrote a book about election shenanigans, about election interference, about election fraud. And he says it happens far more often than you think. The only reason we don't know about it is because most races are lopsided races. It's the close ones where this stuff happens. I have a feeling if Donald Trump is aggressive with his attorneys, and he is, we're going to find out all sorts of irregularities, all sorts of reasons why someone can make a case why this result ought to be questioned, why this result ought to be thrown out. We're going to be lowering up for a very, very long period of time. That's what I think is going to happen. What ultimately is going to happen, don't know. All I know is that Donald Trump is not going to go down without a fight, and if there is a legitimate reason to question these ballots, he will find it. And hopefully, whatever happens, eventually the American people will accept the result. But they never accepted the result of Donald Trump for the entire 4 years. I've told you the majority of Democrats not only believe that the Russians interfered with the election, the majority of Democrats believe that the Russians literally changed voting tallies, reached in and somehow flipped the votes on machines. Zero evidence they did any of that, but that is the extent to which so many people in this country do not believe that Donald Trump has ever been a legitimate president and will never accept that he'll win this election as well. So no matter what's going to happen, there's going to be a great deal of dispute going forward because so many people will not give this man credit for anything. And President Trump has properly taught us that the mainstream media are out to get Republicans, do not like Republicans, want to advance an agenda. They're not really reporters. They're really opinion people. And Donald Trump has exposed them for what they are. So both sides have a legitimate reason not to like the other side. And so as far as I'm concerned, we're going to have a mess going forward. And I was asked this at one of our town halls. And I said, whatever happens, we're not going to know who won the election on election night. And it may be weeks, if not months, before we find out what happened. Now, there are a couple of elections, Senate races in Georgia. And we may not know the outcome of those races, assuming that there were runoffs. So it's going to be a very, very long period of time. In my opinion, we're going to find out lots of ugly things about how states run elections, especially places like Philadelphia, where I said is one of the most corrupt towns, Democrat-run towns, corrupt towns in America.